Morning everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. And it's a beautiful, cozy 19 degrees outside this morning. What a beautiful day. 70 inside, and we're just stoking up the fire. Cold outside and white on the ground. But it's not bad in here, 70's good. We've been keeping it right around 70 the last weeks here. Relearning how to use the wood stove this season. It's got a character, and I've cleaned the pipes and readjusted, and so it's like a living beast. You gotta learn how to care for it properly. Well guys, a lot has been going on here at the Off-Grid Homestead, but just in bits and pieces and spurts, because I have been working off the property a lot recently. I harvested the corn. This is the last of the corn the other day. It took me an hour to get, I think, is that a 4-gallon milk container? Or a 6? It looks like a 6-gallon milk crate. Yeah, it's a 6-gallon milk crate full of corn. Farmers say to leave the corn on a stalk until the cob hangs down. The problem is it gives the worms more time to do their damage. So I knocked out a lot of these worms from some of the corn. Doesn't hurt the rest of the corn. There's some beautiful colors in this, but there's different sized ears. There's no longer ones, there's thicker ones, there's thinner ones. It's a different type of corn, very different. There's a bigger one. I accidentally broke that. Instead of twisting, I bent it and broke it off. The other half is in there somewhere. That was a long, full ear of corn, normal size corn, and that would have been bigger before it started drying. And then there's fat kernels. There's a whole different variety. I planted purple corn, more like this, a little bit darker, in that it was purple. But anyway, here's what I got out of it. So very interesting and curious types of varieties of corn, different sizes and colors and shapes and everything. I think it's fun. So next year, I don't know which one I'm going to plant, but it is what it is. There's a nice here. Now I'm going to take these in and dry them over the wood stove, over in the food dryer that I made, the food dehydrator. My off-grid food dehydrator. So we'll be doing that on a separate video one of these days, and see how long it takes to dry that on the wood stove. Now over here, I've got more firewood. You can see it's white. It's 20 degrees today. Yeah, I showed you that. 19 degrees. I got more firewood home that I need to process, and that's about a trailer load full. Then some of it was smaller pieces, so I got to run that on the log splitter. But I've been working really hard, and I'm quite exhausted, and I'm not home much right now. So that is one thing I've got. And then over here, let me take you over there, I'll be right back. Well, I'm going, look at the heavy frost. It is white. Absolutely white on the ground. Heavy frost we had here this year, or this day. Now over here, I have neatly on pallets some lumber cutoffs. These are the cutoff ends from a lumber mill. And some of them are debarked, some are not. Some of them are 12 feet or longer. But you can see they're about 1 inch to 2 inches thick and rounded. And these are going to be fence posts, the crossboards for fences. I'm going to fence in. The deer got my apples. We went out, we had a heavy wind, and I don't know how many deer it takes to eat 1,000 apples, but they're all gone. We got 4. And that's frustrating because I was going to do a video of dehydrating and processing apples on my homemade food dehydrator, which was the reason I made that food dehydrator, was to process my apples. I'm allergic to the pesticides that they use in normal apples, and it makes my mouth and tongue and throat swell up and itch and burn like mad. And so I love organic apples, and I was very happy that we had thousands of them, but they're gone. They're all gone, and hopefully I'll get a nice well-fed apple eating deer who then started eating my corn. So that's why I cleared out the cornfield too. Anyway, so I'm going to put up fencing, homemade fencing using these cutoffs to protect my orchard from now on. And over here I've got stickered and neatly on pallets. See the stickers? These are called stickers, raising the boards off from touching each other. In between every single row of wood I've got the stickers, so the boards are going to stay dry. Now these were not neatly stacked up, so there's some end rot here and there where they were, but they hadn't been there very long, some of these. Here's some really thick planks, really, really good thick planks here. That's some seriously good lumber there. There's some cleaner, see? So, depending on where it was in the pile. And then I've got some treated cedar posts, and I've got some 4x4s and various things, those are all used, but those are going to be the uprights for my fencing. And I can't think of it offhand right at this minute, but there's a name for the type of fencing I'm going to have. It's an freestanding X frame with boards, 3 boards across one side on the leaning side of the X. I forgot what it's called right now. I'll look it up on the internet. I have a hard time remembering the name of that. But there's a no-dig freestanding fence that people use. And I'm going to do that to keep the deer out of my orchard. So that's the plan. And there's a couple more posts in here. And there's some lumber in here I'm going to sort out. This is 5 trailer loads. It doesn't look like that much on a pallet, but that was a 4x8 trailer hanging off a few feet or a couple feet. And 18 inches high, 5 times to bring in all this lumber. And I had it up to the top level. There's a behemoth piece of a tree, and there's another one really thick and big. So all that, there's another big piece of a big tree. I just put these over here because I was running out of room to neatly stack them over here. So the guy was going to burn them, and I happened to be there working, and he was going to burn them, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, you want them gone, and I want them at home? I'll take them away for free, and you get them gone, and I get them here to build my fence. So there it is. Now a goal of mine is to take some of the nicer boards, and I don't have to dig through there, but there's some nicer pieces that are almost flat on both sides. And somewhere in here, they're in there. Those are going to be a playground for Michelle next year. So we're going to build her a fenced-in area, a playground with a gate. And then through the years as she grows and gets older, we're going to expand on it and build her a swing set and a slide and one of those little forts up in the air with a little clubhouse, you know, and the hangout place underneath and the walkway between with the handrails. We're going to build her that. Through the years, we're going to keep expanding on it. But for this year, if we get her a fenced-in area, or for next year, with a sandbox, then she can go and play and be safe from running away. So there's the lumber for the beginnings of our fence and Michelle's playground. And I got it all neatly on pallets, and like I said, and stacked and stickered. So it's all neat and legal, just to head people off at the pass. I know that will be soon reported, and so I took my time and did it right. As long as your lumber is stacked neatly and with related construction materials together in the same pile, and it's all neatly organized, then you're fine. I already checked on that. So we're good to go. And here's something else, guys, added to the Homestead, the off-grid Homestead. It's a big riding lawnmower. Needs some air in the tires, He said he drove it and parked it there last time he used it, and he drove it in place and parked it, but never used it again, so it's probably going to need a carburetor clean out. Engine turns over, but the tires need some air. I'll be pumping them up, not when they're frozen like they are now, but I'll be inflating them. It's a 12 horse, 42 inch cut, 7-speed riding lawnmower. That's a big machine, which is going to be so much better on the Homestead. And then the other one that I have, oh, I forgot the name of that suddenly. The other one, the little guy that I have, I will probably, hopefully, rebuild the engine and get it running beautifully and then sell it, because there's nothing wrong with it, but it's great for somebody with a smaller lawn and not this massive Homestead property that we have. That's just too big for that little tiny machine, which is not much bigger than a push mower, but it certainly was easier to ride. I never fired it up this year because we only cut the grass 3 times total, and there just wasn't any rain this year, and so the grass never grew, and I never had to cut the grass, so I didn't pull that beast out this year. That baby beast. I didn't pull that one out. Anyway, that's it, guys. Got a lot of work to do before winter. Oh, let me show you how much wood we burnt. But look at that. I hope that shows up on camera, the beautiful sparkling in the grass. Oh, I've got pipes coming for the wind turbines. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up the side of my solar panel mounts straight up with the wind turbine. I'm going to come up 20 feet in the air. This one especially is going to be perfect. We get heavy blasting sideways winds through here. I'm going to go straight up in the air, put a wind turbine 20 feet up in the air, put guy wires on it, strap it to this end of this solar panel frame because it's in the ground and it's firm. And this rack has taken some serious abuse and winds for almost 2 years now, 2 entire seasons, going on its 2nd winter, and it holds up well. Very good. And having my wind turbines back up in the air, which I did keep, the ones I had in New York, are here and going to go back up properly with nicely secured and mounted and firmly in the ground and tied up and with guy wires and everything. So I've got the poles for one, and I've been studying. I also have the original wind charge controller that somebody sent me years ago with the dump load. I still have all of that here with me. I kept that and brought it with me. And I do intend to use that, and I've been studying how to use that effectively, and I now have an idea how I'm going to do that along with my solar charge controller, because you don't want to have the wind charge controller dumping your energy when your batteries are trying to be topped off, when your solar charge controller is trying to top off your batteries using solar panels or trying to get into float mode. So having a mixture of solar and wind is awkward, because you do want to have your absorption and your float and your occasional equalization. So I've been working on how to figure that out. I hope you don't mind me trying to show the sparklies as we walk. Alright guys, that's it. It's an update from the last couple days. And this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project at the very frozen cold Off-Grid Homestead. Please like, subscribe, and share, and follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. And I'll try to take my camera with me a little bit today, show you what I've been up to if I get a chance. Otherwise, that's it. I'll talk to you later.